A lot went into it, honestly. I talked to a few schools in the portal, but honestly, I feel like this is just the best spot for me. The best spot for me and Jake is, of course, I want to play with Jake. I think that was a big part of it, but at the same time, that wasn't the only part. I think Coach Lindsay did a great job of just talking to me and building that relationship with me, and seeing the last few quarterbacks come through here was a big part of it. I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about playing for these guys, and it's been a lot of fun being here in Chapel Hill for the last 4.5, 5 weeks.
Did you have conversations with Drake?
I'm sorry?
Did you have conversations with
Drake?
So
I actually knew Drake. I did a couple camps with him in Charlotte, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, probably like 6 years ago, honestly. But I talked to him twice. I know he's excited about his future, and I'm happy for him. Probably get drafted number 1 or number 2. So that'll be good to see. But I didn't talk to him much. I probably talked to him twice, and that's about it.
What do you like about Coach Lindsay's offense? What drew you to that?
I think being able to make big plays and then also being able to check it down as well. He does a really good job of getting us in the right play at the right time, and we have a great team coming back this year. I'm excited about it.
When you first saw Omarion, when you met him in person, was it like, oh my God?
The first thing I noticed was his squats. It was ridiculous. The dude could squat like 600, 700 pounds. But he's a juggernaut. He's a stud, so I know he can catch the ball really well, and he's great in pass protection as well.
Max, give us the scouting report on you, man. How do you self-scout?
I'd say I'm a pro-style quarterback that can, run when needed to. I think I can make plays over the field, whether that's throw it deep, throw it intermediate, or throw it short. And I think I've been able to do all those things since I've been in college. I think I'm very accurate, and I can understand defenses as well. I've done a good job of kind of not turning the ball over and making the plays when they're needed to.
Next, how would you kind of describe, I guess, the similarities, differences between North Carolina's offense compared to obviously LSU, Texas A&M? Like, what stuck out about North Carolina's versus the other schools you played for?
Honestly, North Carolina's offense reminds me a lot of LSU's. Texas A&M's was a little bit different, more pro style, played a lot more under center, but it reminds me of LSU. It gives the receivers a lot of options to be right and make plays. It gives them a lot of choice routes. We have a lot of great guys here. The last 4 or 5 weeks we've been throwing, and they catch the ball really well. They're fast, they're athletic, and I'm excited about watching them kind of developing that relationship.
I mean, you mentioned it, but how much time have you kind of had with some of the returning guys to kind of throw with them and start to get that rapport?
A lot, actually. We've been going 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. After classes and after workouts, but it's been a great time to get those reps in before spring ball and kind of get that timing down.
You've been in quarterback battles before. How are you kind of approaching this competition with Connor?
Like I always say, it's honestly one day at a time. It's make the most of that moment, that play, and that day. Not get too high, not get too low, and just take what they give you. Whether that's take the deep shot or being able to check it down as well. I think. Just affecting players around you and kind of leading.
What's your relationship been like with him so far?
It's been great. I actually went and played 18 holes with Connor the other day. It was me and Connor versus Jake and Deems May. So we got it in. But I've built my relationship with him. He's awesome. He's athletic. He's great to be around. Great guy.
Allowed to say who won?
I would say me and Connor are working on our game. And Jake's pretty good right now. He's a really good driver, and then Deems is pretty good.
Did you play a lot of golf with Jake kind of growing up?
Honestly, we got into it the last 3 or 4 years. We actually just got a new set of clubs for Christmas, so I'm excited to go pick those up this weekend and start working them in.
What kind of stood out with your conversations as far as Coach Brown, and when you go back to that, what were some of your takeaways?
Honestly, just the way he talked about Drake was awesome. The way he defended him, the way he, backed him up, the way he encouraged him, the way he, put him on a pedestal. I think Coach Brown and Coach Lindsay did a great job of kind of developing Drake, and Drake also is a specimen and had a great year. I had a lot of fun watching him on film and on TV, and I think being able to make plays with your feet, being able to make plays deep, intermediate, short. I think that being able to be here gives us the opportunity to do that.
How have they told you the offense might change from last season to this coming season?
I honestly don't think it's going to change much. I think maybe a little bit of the verbiage, but that's about it. I'm not really sure. But we have a playbook that we that we kind of been studying. So I'm looking forward to just learning and just kind of developing my game over the next few years.
So you think the run pass ratio for Carolina will be about the same next season as last season?
I'm not sure exactly. I would assume it's probably going to be the same, but I'm not sure how it's going to be exactly. I'm excited to see that in spring ball.
That experience of working with the team in bowl practice and making that trip with them, it seemed like it all came together pretty quickly.
It really did. We were kind of figuring out if that was even allowed. I know a lot of the younger guys could, but as a transfer, we didn't really know how that worked. So we were kind of figuring that out as well. So I'm not sure how many commits we have here. I think it's like 24 or something like that. But I know like 19 guys ended up going. So being able to build that relationship with the young guys, but then also build that relationship with the old guys was great as well.
Max, you have 2 years left, right? 2 years of
I think so, yes, sir. Just because I had COVID and then I had injury.
Gotcha. So this is your second time transferring. Was the process any different when you went from LSU to A&M to here?
Not really. It was kind of similar. I kind of honestly handled most of it this time because the first time I didn't really know how it was going to work. So I was making most of the phone calls, and that's kind of how it went this year.
This being kind of your second time, and you've started at 2 SEC programs now, a little more established. Was your list kind of a little bit more narrow? You can go in, it's like you can be a little more choosy in particular about what you wanted.
100%. I think I kind of knew what I wanted. Being able to experience 2 schools, I think I saw what I learned from both of them, what I liked, what I didn't like, and being able to kind of discern that and be like, okay, this is what I would need and want moving forward.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Max, kind of, I guess, asking about your, brother a little bit. North Carolina obviously has a lot of tight ends, that have been very productive over the last couple of years. A couple of them coming back, Bryson Nesbitt and John Copenhaver. Where do you kind of see your brother's game just kind of, in the mix with them, because they also have Morales last year, he was in the mix. Where do you kind of see your brother, fitting in with those guys?
I think we have a lot of great players at every position. I think Bryson and Cope, had a great year last year. Jake had a great year as well. But I think we really could get into all types of personnel here, whether that's 12, 13, 11, anything we want. I think they all can run routes, they all can block well, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. I'm not sure if all our guys will be healthy for spring, just because I know a lot of guys are banged up from last year's season. But I'm looking forward to seeing Cole, Bryce, and Jake. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them. Jake's really dynamic. He makes a lot of plays. I feel like we could have used him better. I feel like we could have even used him more A&M, honestly, in the past game. Just kind of split him out wide, but he was more in the core. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him develop as well.
What do you think Jake's biggest strength is, his biggest asset is as a tight end?
Honestly, his ball skills. He's 6'6", 245. I'm not sure what he runs in the 40, but he can move, he can play in the core, block well. I think that's what he's worked on a lot this past year. But then I also think he can widen out and he can run the whole route tree, because that's what he played in high school as a receiver.
Yeah. So, and when you guys were growing up, when did the not divide, that's probably not the right word, but when did it become, okay, I'm the quarterback, you're the pass catcher? Like, when did that start to take form?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think we kind of always grew up thinking I was going to be the quarterback, because that's what I played growing up, and he was always he actually started out as a lineman. Okay. And I actually played DN, which was crazy. So then we ended up just figuring that out. But he played one game of JV quarterback, and he was like, "Dude, I do not like that." But then I would think my body's not fit for that, so to play tight end.
So you guys it was around high school where you became full-time quarterback. He became.
I'd say middle school, and then high school kind of gripping it. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
The last season, the offensive line, there were times when there was a lot of pressure on the quarterback, having to hurry. What's your assessment of the offensive line room coming into the spring practice?
I'm excited to see that. I know we got a lot of new guys, but then also a lot of guys from last year. So I'm excited to see how that all plays out. I know a lot of guys are hungry and ready to work, and I'm excited to see that. So.
And you might have went into this a little bit, but just going back to Jake, what does it mean to you to be able to start a new experience at his new school with your brother, and this is your second time on a collegiate team?
It's pretty incredible, honestly. A lot of guys don't really get to do that with their brother, and I got to experience most of my high school career with him, and then 2 years at A&M, which was really special. I got to throw him his first touchdown, which was awesome. We'll remember that forever, and then. Doing it here as well is going to be special. So I'm excited to kind of grow with him. He's my best friend, so I'm looking forward to it.
And can you just talk about that touchdown, throwing him his first touchdown at Texas?
I remember the exact play call. So they called they called the same exact play a little earlier in the game, and I knew we were going to get the same exact look. And we ended up getting the same look, and he was wide open. So I remember celebrating with him after and then talking about it that night.
What was the play called?
So it was called right flex wing, and we called it right flex wing flip, 8 Roger Wheeler. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what are you planning on studying at North Carolina?
So I'm not really sure if I'm going to do a master's program yet because I know you have to wait a semester, but I'm kind of figuring that out right now. I'm just taking just easy classes right now, like English, drama, and stuff like that right now. But I'm kind of figuring that out if I'm actually going to take a master's or get a master's degree. So I'm looking forward to kind of figuring that out.
How's drama?
It's been good. We went and saw a play. I think it was called Fat Ham the other day. But I'm enjoying it. It's not like I'm actually acting. We're kind of just watching people act. So
You talked about what attracted you to Carolina. Why the decision to leave A&M? Did the coaching change? Other things? What played into that?
I think it's a lot of things. Whether it's LSU, A&M, I think there's both different situations. I'd rather not crazy go into it, but there's a lot of things that went on. But that was the reason why I left, because a lot of things went on. But I'm honestly not too worried about that, and I'm excited to be here. So.
Did you have like a set of finalists, so to speak? Because you kind of committed to UNC in the earlier parts, I guess, of the transfer portal. Was there kind of what was that time like for you, and who were the last few schools?
You talking about the last schools that kind of reached out to me before?
Yeah, or like the last ones you decided between.
Out of respect for their programs and their quarterbacks, I probably wouldn't want to say, but I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy to be around these people. So.
Yeah, and I guess kind of the timeline of when you moved and things like that. Just kind of, can you take us through that process? You said obviously this is your second time in the portal because of SEC. So just kind of what was that experience like, and just how quickly things moved for you? It
really did change on me fast. I remember I'm still paying rent at A&M, which is kind of funny, but so I'm kind of doing double, but. It hit me fast. I mean, I remember walking into the A&M facility for the last time. It was like, because I kind of knew I was leaving, but it really felt weird. But I remember being there for another 2 weeks, taking finals, and then, I went home and kind of figured this all out. And then I remember coming here for a basketball game on like a little visit, and then I remember committing. So, yep.
Appreciate it. I'm Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Max.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
I just have one more. Your uncle obviously works for the ACC network. You might be calling some of your highlights pretty soon. Is he excited? Is that weird?
I think he's crazy excited. I'm not, but I think just growing up with going to all the Georgia games has been crazy, and being able to see him maybe call a game would be awesome. I'm sure he'll start crying, but I love him to death, and I've learned so much from him.
All right. Hi, Max. I'm Grace.